Hey Internet, Eric here. Back with another discussion video for you, and this one is per request. My good buddy John K. Alvarez. I've mentioned John before. He's a lot of times he's part of the panel over at the American Werewolf YouTube channel. Fun guy, and I don't know when he requested me to discuss this one. I think it might have been when I first said this whole year on YouTube is going to be movies I've never seen. He asked if I'd ever seen this one. I said nope. So he asked me to discuss it. Whew. Today, for my buddy John, I'm going to discuss from 1991, The Fisher King. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Basic plot of this one is we are following Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is a shock jock. I guess you would say like Howard Stern, but not as obnoxious. And he gets a phone call one day. Gets a phone call one day from one of his fans that calls every day, and I don't remember exactly what the words were, but I believe the caller said something about going to this bar, trying to find a chick, and picking her up, or finding a companion or whatever. Jeff Bridges says you'll never be with one of those type of people because basically they're upper class. They're awful. They're scuzzbags because they will only date their own kind. Yada yada yada. No one's ever good enough for them unless you're at a certain money bracket, I guess you would say. And he says the world would be better without them, basically. Well, that inspires this listener to go to that club, take out a shotgun, kill a bunch of people, and then kill himself. 3 years later, Jeff Bridges' character is really, really drunk. He's down on his luck. This was all public. He blames himself for everything. He is very, very drunk. He is about to be set on fire by a couple of thugs, and he is saved by a bunch of homeless people led by Robin Williams. Robin Williams claims to be a man on the search for the Holy Grail, and this isn't a major spoiler. You find out that Robin Williams had a mental breakdown 3 years ago because his wife was one of the victims. She was killed in front of him, and he's been like this ever since. And the rest of the film is Jeff Bridges working with Robin Williams and eventually helping him get through that loss, and maybe a little bit of a redemption for Jeff Bridges as well. Okay, this was directed by Terry Gilliam. I know he's associated with the Monty Python movies. Never seen them. Sue me. And I think he did 12 Monkeys, which I thought was fantastic. I went into this film completely blind, other than I knew it had to deal with Robin Williams as the homeless man looking for the Holy Grail. And so I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat lighthearted comedy. Not at all. This movie was dark. But I will say this, John, I absolutely love this film. First off, Jeff Bridges. First off, when we first see him as the shock jock, you can tell he's a douchebag. He's not unlikable. He's not insufferable like Howard Stern is. And when we see him 3 years later, we believe the struggle. We believe he's now working at a video rental place. Shouts out to Kathy Najimy. She is in the movie for like 30 seconds as a customer looking for something with a story, and he gives her one of the most disgusting pornos that he can think of. He is dating the actress who plays the mom from Last Action Hero, and she is Tom Hanks' mom in Big. He's dealing with her, and she's dealing with him. He's really good. He's got great chemistry with her. You buy their, I guess you would say, strained relationship. You buy his mourning, you buy his guilt, and then when he hooks up with Robin Williams, you buy his frustration. And when he finds out that he's the one behind Robin's breakdown 3 years ago and his loss, you buy that too. Jeff Bridges is so good at this, a perfect mixture of drama, sadness, comedy. He's great. Robin Williams is Robin Williams. When we first see him after Jeff Bridges is going to get lit on fire by those hoodlums, he says something Shakespearean, and they're like, "What?" And he says, "Leave him alone, you assholes," or something like that. So he's got that dignity when he's trying to talk about who he is and his search for the Grail, but he's also Robin Williams. You know what I mean? And you buy it. He is very lovable, sympathetic. Uh, and again, him and Jeff Daniels just work so well together. One of my favorite scenes is, Jeff's so frustrated with dealing with Robin and his manic stuff. Robin says the only way to feel free is to go to Central Park and strip butt ass naked. And he does. And he's dancing around. He says, let the little guy swing in the air. And he does. And Jeff just can't handle the fact that he's dealing with a naked homeless man in Central Park. So he starts to walk away. And he says, Robin calls to Jeff Daniels, says, where are you going? And Jeff, speaking in this old timey English, says, I'm going to find Jacketh Daniels and go get shit faced. Um, why? Because the little people told me. The little people are little fairies or whatever that Robin claims he sees that are telling him on the to find where to find the Grail. And because the little people told me, did they really? Did they really? Are they here? You're completely bonkers. Bingo! Stuff like that. And Robin is just so quick. Boom, boom, boom. And Jeff is just right there after him. Fantastic. The dramatic scenes. Um, there are scenes where Robin is dealing with his PTSD. Anytime the incident is mentioned or Robin's real name is mentioned, because Robin's like blocked it out, even though he has a shrine, because he's now living in like the basement of an apartment complex. He has a shrine to his dead wife. Anytime that is mentioned, he sees this gigantic knight, all in red, on this gigantic horse. There's flames and everything, and Robin freaks out. He falls to the ground. He's shrieking. He's crying. He's so scared. The only one that can save him is Jeff Daniels, because he feels loved, and it's a great relationship. They also try to hook up Robin Williams with Amanda Plummer, because it has been 3 years since Robin's wife has passed, and he's just smitten with Amanda Plummer, and I kind of am too. I've always loved her, whether it's So I Married an Axe Murderer, Pulp Fiction. She's in an episode of Tales from the Crypt, the prophecy. She cleans herself up. She's very sweet and cute and nice to look at, and she's so awkward in this movie. She's always tripping over herself, or when she's trying to get a book off the book rack, they fall. And there's a nice little scene where Robin and Jeff are following her because Robin knows her whole schedule. And Jeff is just putting up with this man. He's like, I can't deal with this guy. Eventually, he thinks that hooking him up with Amanda Plummer will kind of help him atone for what he did, I guess you would say. And there's a wonderful scene where he pretends that Robin is an employee at the video store, and they offer her free yearly membership, and she's being kind of snotty. And the girlfriend doesn't want to put up with it, the woman from The Last Action Hero. But Robin is just so smitten, and Jeff is just like, go help her do stuff. Their interaction is great. Eventually, they do go out on a date at this fancy restaurant with Jeff and his girl, and it's just so sweet. It's so awkward, and I love how Jeff and his girl are just like, why are we here? Why are we here with these losers? It's pathetic. She's dropping dumplings on the floor. Robin just won't say a word. But then eventually they start loosening up, and all four of them are laughing at the end of it. Other characters, there is a homeless man they find who likes to cross dress, and he is a lot of fun. He is the one that plays Edouard Delacroix in The Green Mile. He's the Frenchman that Percy tortures in the electric chair. He doesn't wet the sponge. Or he's also in is he the pilot of the helicopter in Waterworld, I think. Anyways, he's a lot of fun. I love the scene where he dresses up like a woman and he brings balloons into the work area where Amanda Plummer lives to try to get her to say, "Hey, you want a yearly membership at the video store," type of thing. Try to get her to come down. He's a lot of fun. Terry Gilliam, he's really good with the camera. Lots of times when people are fucked up, like if Robin's going through a manic scene or Jeff Bridges is drunk or something, he does a really good job with the camera, with walleye lens and making it different weird angles and this and that. It makes it's like a POV shot. You're feeling what the characters are feeling. He does weird shots like when Jeff Bridges, he's just now saved by Robin and his homeless buddies, and they're driving him bonkers. The way the camera shakes and this and that, the way the audio rises a little bit when the homeless people are laughing. You're feeling what Jeff is feeling. I like that. One of my favorite scenes is they're in a train station, and it's chaos. Everybody's running this way and that way. Robin is following Amanda Plummer. There's a bunch of homeless people there causing ruckus, including the cross-dressing one. Jeff Bridges is busy dealing with him and his manic meltdown, and there's so much chaos, and I love it. And suddenly, it's Robin walking after Amanda Plummer. The chaos. Suddenly, the chaos stops, and all the customers and all the people that are in the train station start doing classical dance with each other. I love it because Robin is now in this whole new world, no pun intended from Aladdin, whole new world watching her. He's in this regal, wonderful place, just trying to follow her. And once she gets away, boom, chaos again. Loved it. Little stuff like that is amazing. Um, the dark stuff in this movie. I was not expecting when we find out. I mentioned in the beginning of this video, spoilers, when we find out what the Red Knight represents. It represents obviously Robin's trauma. It is seeing his wife, her head, the shotgun taking her out right in front of him. So you have the red, the explosion, I hate to say, of her head, because his face is covered in blood and then she falls down. It's tragic. And of course, it's right after Robin and Amanda Plummer have the wonderful night at the restaurant. She says, "You're gonna come up with me. We're gonna have coffee. I don't drink coffee. We're gonna come up. We're gonna sleep together. You're gonna spend the night. You're gonna leave, and you'll never call me." And he keeps saying, "Oh, I don't drink coffee. I don't want to come up." He's being so sweet and telling her how he wants this to continue. And she wants it to continue. She finally drops that guard down. And she walks upstairs. And he just says something like, "Oh, I'll call you." Oh, she didn't give me the number. And she lives right next to the nightclub or the restaurant where his wife was killed and all those other people. And that triggers it. And it's a sad, scary scene where he's running down the streets being chased by this knight. And you get to see the flashback of his wife and him having this romantic fun night out, and she dies in front of him, and then how the ambulance had to put him in a straitjacket, and it's very sad. And then eventually, he's comatose, and Jeff Bridges visits him, and you can hear that Amanda Plummer's been there. She's talking about she's giving him new sheets and stuff like that, and Jeff decides to finally go look for the Holy Grail for him. And there is this story where Robin sees something. Some person has like a trophy in his bookcase that's in like a newspaper clipping. And Jeff decides to break in there to steal it, and it ends up being some bullshit trophy. But the owner has attempted suicide, so it's a sign that I guess he's not only trying to save Robin, but he also saves this person as well, so he can redeem himself for the multiple people whose death that he sadly inadvertently caused. And eventually, he meets Robin again. He gives him the Grail, and he just kind of falls down at Robin's bed, exhausted. Robin finally wakes up. Whew. Love this film, John. I'm glad. And I don't know if you said it or not, but I'm glad you didn't mention how dark it was, because that really helped the story be so impactful with me. I highly recommend The Fisher King. Now it is long. It's like maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So you got to put in some time. But it's so good. The performances, the chemistry, the comedy, the tragedy, all rolled into this little mixing pot of goodness. And I absolutely love this movie. I'm glad John requested it, because I don't know if this is one of those movies where I never thought I would sit down and watch. I'm never going to fucking sit down and watch The Fisher King. This is something I will watch again. Definitely got to be in the right mood for it, but something I will watch again. So thank you, John, for, I guess you'd say, twisting my arm and getting me to watch this for you and discuss it. Loved it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Click the bell. Comment below. Tell me, have you seen this movie? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Favorite parts? Why do you hate it? All that jazz. Lawrence of Arabia will be coming up soon. I don't know. I think that'll probably be next week because I need the fucking weekend to watch a 4-hour movie, Mike. American Werewolf, Mike. Yeah, he wants me to do Lawrence of Arabia, which I said I will. It's his favorite movie, so pressure's on, but it's fucking 4 hours, so it'll be next week, buddy. I think I'm going to do Eli Roth's Thanksgiving movie for around Thanksgiving time. And then who knows, me and Patrick have a new Schlocky themed challenge for next month, but I'll discuss that as we get there. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks again, John. Great fucking movie. Cheers.